So, if you're on a TN visa and you want to get a green card based on marriage to a US citizen, here are some things you need to be aware of. So, the first thing is intent issues. So, with a TN visa is a non-immigrant intent visa. Therefore, once you enter the United States, you are basically saying that you're entering in order to perform the duties under the TN visa. However, if you enter under a TN visa and you immediately file a spousal sponsorship petition to get a green card, that would indicate that you lied about your intent, which could cause problems down the road. Therefore, it's advisable to abide by the 90-day rule. The 90-day rule is typically that you cannot act inconsistent with your stated reason for entry within 90 days. Another thing to keep aware of is not losing your ability to work. So, as you probably know, the TN visa can be valid for up to 3 years. However, it may take up to a year for your green card to get approved. If you file for an EAD, it may be approved in 6 to 8 months. However, there's cases where the EAD is not approved at all and you just received a green card. Therefore, you need to plan the timing so you can get your green card before your TN work authorization expires. You also want to be aware about leaving the United States, even with an advanced parole approval. So, with an approved I-131 petition, it allows you to leave the United States while your I-130 and I-485 is processing, so it's not considered abandoned. However, you're in a different situation if you have a TN visa, because if you leave, even with the I-31 approval, and try to enter in the United States under TN status, the CBP officer can say, well, wait, you're trying to say that you're entering as a non-immigrant worker under a TN visa. However, you filed the I-130 and I-485. Therefore, it's clear that you have immigrant intent. Therefore, why should we let you in under a TN visa when it's clear that you have immigrant intent? So these are things you should be aware of when marrying a U.S. citizen when you're on a TN visa and you would like to file for a spousal sponsorship green card.